Was that the next vertical?
That was the next.
Okay.
Yeah. Next thing was car hauling. Car hauling, it was maybe 3 years ago.
Okay.
About 3 years ago now. And something different. Like you said, you like your niches, right?
Yeah, I love the niches.
Yeah. So try a little something different. I'm a big car guy. I used to race across the country and stuff like that. So it was one of those things where I was sitting at the racetrack and I'm like, damn, a car hauler pull up and it's like, why don't we do something like that? It was enclosed. It was cool. Lamborghinis, Ferraris, and all this crazy stuff coming out. And I'm like, let's do that.
Right.
So we bought 2 car haulers.
Okay.
2 enclosed Kentucky trailers, $250,000 per trailer.
Ooh, nice.
And hooked them to, $150,000 Freightliner, and we started hauling all the exotics.
Okay.
All the classic cars, all the Lamborghinis, Ferraris, all the crazy, $1 million units. And that was awesome.
Very, very different business, though.
Very different.
Right.
Very different driver as well.
Right.
They're an
definitely
operator.
different driver, operator, and different business in terms of how you get freight, how you connect with these. So how did you purchase
Correct.
the car hauler first, or did you connect with somebody first to know you'd be able to get the cars?
Well, throughout the times, some of the exotic cars that I bought personally, I established relationships with all these exotic dealers around here, and they knew me and they knew how I was, and they were like, hey, when I was at the track and I talked to a few of them, they're like, man, you should really start doing this because I know you really care about the cars,
Right.
And so I knew a lot of people first.
Okay.
Then we started hauling them, and it was crazy. It was fun to see. You got a trailer going down the road with $10 million in it of cars.
Yeah.
And it was fun. It's just one of those things that I love cars, so that fit.
Worked. It resonated.
Absolutely.
What were some of the challenges getting into that business?
Challenges, operators, always drivers, right? The challenge is guys being over the road too long. People don't like to be over the road, nowadays.
Right.
Old school trucking, they're out for a month.
Facts.
Right.
Yep. No big
trucking
deal.
now.
They want to go home.
You're lucky you get a guy for a week.
That's true.
Yeah.
And
these guys will be out 2-3 weeks, and it's kind of hard because you need to wait for cars to come up, and you kind of got to circle them around, create a route coast to coast. And that was hard. It was hard on their families and their personal life. They were great guys, great operators. Just it was real hard on their personal life.
Right.
And when you get that, it just don't work,
Got you. So these the exotics and stuff, you're delivering them to like houses?
Houses.
Okay.
Yeah, pull 53 feet right up in the house.
Okay.
We have to get weight permits, all that stuff.
Yeah. Gotcha.
Sometimes we'll meet them at a Walmart or something like that, but if they had a big enough area, we would go right to the house.
Okay. And how was on the financial end, how was that compared to what you were doing with the general freight and trucking?
Very lucrative.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, very
More
lucrative. Oh, yes. I mean, to give you an example, each trailer holded about 6 cars. That car coming out of Texas, if it's a high dollar unit, that car could pay $2,000 a car. And you got $12,000 coming out of Texas coming to Wisconsin. You know what I mean? So
yeah.
It was very, very lucrative.
Okay, got you. So how many car holders you have? You have 2, you said?
No, we had
started
two.
with 2, and then you grew
10.
So now you guys have 10 car haulers.
We opened more open haulers for more of the dealership work, more of the, hey, I don't want to pay for enclosed service. So we opened up that avenue.
Oh, you get a different rate for the enclosed?
Oh, absolutely.
How much is the difference?
Double.
Double for the enclosed.
The enclosed is double.
But as a car hauler, it's still your responsibility to make sure the car is delivered in good condition.
That is correct.
So what's the difference?
The difference is it's not exposed to elements. People with their exotics, myself included, I don't want to see no rain touch my car. No, nothing, not a rock chip, not a nothing. I want my car pristine. I'm picky like that.
Yeah.
All exotic guys are picky like that.
Yeah.
They don't play that in the elements.
Right.
That's the biggest.
Okay.
Open hauler, you could get a rock chip. That's all on a disclaimer. You're going down the road with 9 cars. I mean, a rock could hit it. Anything could happen.
Right.
And so we're like, well, you want to pay for enclosed? That trailer's a very expensive trailer.
Right.
And it's very expensive insurance.
That's a fact.
Double what a truck will cost. a freight truck.
So what's the number on that? You said 2,000 per car.
2,000 per car.
Is that enclosed?
Enclosed.
Okay, got you. So on
open,
with the open,
$1,000 a car.
$1,000 a car.
Yep, and we have 4 or 5 units that will go down and back and forth. Texas, Florida. That was our lane. Texas, Florida, and everything in between.
Okay. Is there a certain season where you like kind of ramp up with the car hauling or
snowbirds?
Right. Okay.
Snowbirds. Yep. They want to come out of Florida or go into Florida. Usually, wintertime, fall, busy. Everything coming out.
Okay.
Of the north, and in the summer and vice versa.
Okay. So would you say you say the car hauling business makes more in terms of margin than the general freight business, right?
Absolutely.
Okay. Gotcha.
Absolutely.
Way more.
Way more. Way more.
Okay.
But it's a much harder business.
Gotcha.
Twice as hard.
Gotcha.
Because those cars, it's a lot of moving parts. You see those 9-car haulers going down the road, 10-car haulers. Listen, I've had my problems.
Yeah, for sure.
I had my problems.
Okay, cool. All right, so that's the car hauling. We have the general freight, and then you also do the towing and recovery, right?
Towing and recovery.
How we get into that?
Absolutely. Just another spinoff of something that we wanted to do and make sure that we can tow our own equipment. So we went out and bought a heavy wrecker, $750,000 unit to tow our own trucks.
Okay.
If there's any issues. We didn't wait for, warranty to send a tow truck from whatever state or whatever. We'll send our own.
Prior to that investment, how much had you spent on records?
Probably...
If
you got newer equipment, so it wasn't too
break
bad.
Down too much.
Yeah, not too bad. But the time that's
what I was gonna say. So why'd you see that as a
and the loads?
Because I could understand you seeing that as a good investment. Like once you break down a certain amount of time, you spend all that money on records. Like we might as well buy our own. We done bought one and paying for it.
That's correct. You got it. You got it. You look at that payment, you be like, hey, well, let's see. If I had my own and I paid this, that's only 4 tows a year.
There you go.
You know what I mean? So you kind of do the math like that.
Okay.
And we just, like I said, we want to be all self-sufficient in-house and do our own thing.
Okay.
And
so you started with one wrecker.
One wrecker, one heavy wrecker.
Okay.
And then we had 8 small rollbacks for cars.
Okay, got you.
Yep.
So you started off doing it in-house, and then you started offering it to the public.
That is correct.
Did you get any contracts with anybody for records? I know like a lot of times you got to get contracts to do on like the turnpike and different places.
Absolutely. Yep. The auctions, stuff like that. We would get contracts with. None of the city work. That was on our heavy wrecker side, yes, but not the small car side.
Okay.
We had the contract for the city buses here in Milwaukee County, and just keep things moving and keep our heavy wrecker moving.
Okay. Is there a lot of politics in the tow industry?
Absolutely.
It is, right?
This is worse than trucking. Yeah. Okay. There's a lot of buddy system, a lot of politics, lots, on what work you get and blah, 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 So it's a challenge, but hey, if it was easy, everybody'd do it, right?
That's right. So with the wrecker, how much can you make like on just like a regular tow? Like to tow a truck is like what, 10,000?
No,
on what's going on?
No, not that expensive unless you're going from state to state. But if you're doing a recovery or something like that, 5,000. 5,000. If you're doing just a regular tow off the road, $1,000, $1,500. Usually they're going to a dealership or somewhere local,
right?
$1,000, $1,500 a tow.
So 5,000 that person would spend, and how much is it costing you to do that? I guess if you look at like what's the margins on that? What's
your margins on
that?
That's if you account for fuel, the driver, everything on that scene, that scene will probably cost you anywhere from $600 to $800.
Okay. So that's huge margin.
Yes, because the truck costs so much.
Right, because the truck costs so much.
Yeah, we sold our first wrecker and we bought a rotator. That's the one that picks the trucks up from the side of the road, rotates them back, and puts them on. That's almost $1 million unit.
Wow.
And the trucks cost so much, so you're paying for that equipment.